Defending is his middle name, and kind of his first name.
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and we have finally reached the end of our journey with Ocular Max's Maximus Pro, their take on Defensor. We have seen all 5 of the members, and if you missed any of those reviews, there'll be a playlist in the description down below for you to check out at your leisure. Without further ado, let's combine these boys and form Defensor. So first we'll start with the legs. So the easiest way to do this is to have him just lying down with the foot flat on the surface here. So you have this little piece here that you want to just kind of slightly angle up. We'll start off with streetwise here. So what you want to do is you want to bring these sections out. You just want to split this down the middle. And what's going to happen here is you have this post right here. And that post is going to end up going in 2 ports that are on the inside right there. You can see it right there on either side. So you want this angled forward and just drop that in and just clamp that together like so. You want to take the knee, just bring it down a click, and there's this panel here you want to flip up, and so that will expose these 2 slots right here, and that is for these 2 tabs that are up here. Now, streetwise is a little bit of a pain in the butt here because these tabs are on hinges and they kind of like to fold themselves down as you're trying to push them in, but do the best you can to get it lined up and get them pushed in. There you go, you can see what I'm talking about there. Like I missed the mark just by a little bit and it pushed it down. So yeah, this streetwise is a little annoying. Groove is fine, but streetwise can be annoying to get him plugged in. But just take your time and get everything situated. And again, it's not easiest to do. Come on. Yeah, streetwise is the pain in the butt to get in. He's a problem child. He's a problem child of the group. There we go. There we go. And once you got that in, you just take that panel, bring it down. There you go. Now we have a leg in place. So now we're going to do the same thing with groove. So again, you want to split this open. So where this T-bar is going to go is it's going to go behind this red light. And then you can see little posts here. They're going to end up going onto the sides of this section right in there. If you can see that, they're going to peg right in here. So again, this is kind of one of those things you're doing kind of blind, which again, not the biggest fan of, but if you get everything situated, get it seated, and the leg butts are not the easiest to get into place, but there we go. There we go. And we got them clipped in. So again, we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to bring that leg down a click, open up this panel, and just take groove. Now his tabs are not on hinges, so they'll stay put, and you just drop him right down like so. And you close that panel. There you go, straighten out the legs, and now he can stand. So now it's time to connect the arms, so we'll start off with first aid. Now, these ports do need to be oriented in a specific way. So they have this little locking flap on the first aid side. You want this locking flap, you want it oriented so this little locking flap there will come down, like that. So then you just take first aid, get them in, and then close that up, and that locks the arm in place. Now on the blade side, you want this oriented so the locking little clasp here is on the top. So then we just bring in blades, just get them in, and you just close that up and lock those arms into place. And there you go, there you have Maximus Pro, aka Defensor, fully combined. And yeah, a very good-looking Defensor here, very reminiscent of his G1-y self. Yeah, looks good, and pretty solid also. Just a nice solid combiner. You can just plant him down. He doesn't wobble or anything. Very nice. But let's get in close so we can take a look, not at that crotch, at the noggin up here. There it is. So we got very nice head sculpt here. Got some metallic blue for the eyes. Got that big old chest piece here with some silver accents. Crotch plate with some silver accents. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Not a fan of the way this works because it's just, it just makes the crotch plate look very, very disjointed. And I'm not a fan of that, but it's all right. They had to make it work, however they can make it work. But moving on to legs. Big old feet, little toesies. And moving up the back. Kind of see how all that holds the legs in place. Very clean back. Oh no, good looking Defensor here. Now articulation-wise, what have we got? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to tell you. So the head can rotate, can do a full 360. He can look up some, he can look down some. The arms can rotate. Good ratchet as well. He can hold his arms up, which is nice. Can do a full 360. Can move in and out. And again, those arms stay up quite well. You do have a bicep rotation, although it's very high up on his arm. You do have double joints at elbow, although you only really get a little over 90 degrees on the blade side. You can get a little deeper of a bend. Another thing that bugs me about this guy is that his elbow joints are kind of like in different places, so it's like one's a little higher, one's a little lower, so his elbows don't actually bend in the same place at either arms. So that's, it doesn't really match up there, and he has very, again, little kind of asymmetrical there, but again, that's nitpicky stuff, but it is what it is. Now, where were we? We do also get forearm rotation, at least on the first aid side. You don't get that on the blade side. Now, as far as the hands go, we have posable fingies. The thumb is on a ball joint as well as a hinge. You can wiggle up and down. You got a double joint right there. The hand does have a hinge that allows those fingers to move upward, which is quite nice. We can say stop in the name of the law. And you do have wrist rotation, but due to how the hand comes together, it being two halves, you don't get full rotation. You just get about that much one way. And if things come apart, so yeah, you don't get too much wrist rotation out of it, just due to the way it comes together. You do have posable fingies, which you can get a nice splay out of those. You have a hinge here, and a hinge there. So you have some very nice posable fingers. You got waist rotation. You do have an ab crunch. I can work in there, and then you'll start kind of undoing some stuff. That's the other thing that's kind of annoying about this guy, but okay, I'll fix that later. So legs, gotta move forward about that far. Back, you can get about that far. Outward, almost full splits. You got thigh rotation in there. You got a bit over 90 degrees of bend out to the knee. As far as the feet, they can move up. They can move down a little bit. No rotation. You do have ankle tilted. You have a toe joint, but it's pretty loose. But if you can use it, you can use it. Now, as far as the individual robot weapons, you can combine them. I'm not a fan of this personally, but it's a thing you can do. So you take this, and this will peg in here, and also tab in right there. You can take Groove's guns, and they will plug on to these posts here on the side. And then you can take Groove's little pistol here, his little blaster, and plug it in right there. And you can have that going on. I mean, that's not bad, but I'm not totally a fan of it. You can do the same thing with the other one. And you can take Blades' weapons and tab these onto the side. Now, these do not tab in securely. These are pretty loose, and that really doesn't work all that well, as you can see. And then you take his blaster, and you can plug that up top and have that going on. And that's a thing you can do if you want to do it, if it'll stay together. But again, not really a fan of that. But again, thing you can do if you want to do it. This is a Streetwise's gun. I have First Aid's gun actually stored in his alt mode, the way it's normally stored. One One thing that Ocular Max was really good with their Bruticus was, everything has a place to go, but when it comes to this set, I'm not sure if everything has a place to go, but, we'll get into that more. Now, Groove's blasters, his little side blasters here, they can store right here, and this is shown in the instructions, so you can do that. They don't show you what to do with this gun, though, his other little pistol. There is a slot here that this can fit in, but again, I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do with it, like a little, shin gun, I guess? I don't know. Now, Streetwise's gun, I don't know. The instructions don't tell you what to do with this. I opened this up, and there is like an opening there. It does actually tuck in there. That works. Again, I don't know if that's where it's supposed to go, but it works. It fits. Now, the instructions do show Blades' disarm mode with the weapons attached like that, so you can give them like some forearm guns here. As I said earlier, I have First Aid's gun stored inside the cab here. Now, Hotspot's big old cannons here, they do tab in right back here, but then what do you do with these? I'm not sure. I mean, you can leave these attached here and plug them in like that, but then they're kind of interfering and they're not sitting, they're kind of leaning a little back, and then, I don't know. I'm not crazy about how that looks, so if you don't want to do that, then where are these supposed to go? I have no idea, because I don't see any place for these to plug into, and I'm not sure. And, of course, the Defensor can wield his weapon, so he can pew-pew-bang-bang, pew-pew-bang-bang, and all of that good stuff. Another curious thing about this combiner is that the First Aid hand does actually have a dedicated slot for the gun to go into, but the blade side does not. It's just kind of this open gap in his palm. I mean, once you get his fingers wrapped around it, he does hold it, but it's not as secure as it is on the First Aid side. But, weird, but okay. Now we do have noggin options, because we have this swappable faceplate here to give him some expression, and we can just open up the head here. Hi, how are you? You just remove that faceplate, plug in this faceplate, close that back up, and now he's all like grrr. And on top of that, you get a completely optional head as well, and this head is just more squared off. And to swap the heads is very easy. You just open it up and you just pull straight up and it just unclips. And you just open up the new head, pop that down to it clips in place, close that up, and now you have that look going on. And you also get a grr face for this head. Now these faces are keyed, so these faces will only go on this head, the other faces will only go on the other head. But it works the exact same way. You just open this up, remove that, plug the new one on, close that all back up, and there you go, grrr. Options, they're good. And another display option we have is to give him his collar, and to do that, just come back here, just open up these panels, and we just need to get to this section here, so you want to untab it, and you're just going to take this section here, there we go. And just leave all that where it was. There are these two little tabs right up front here that you want to flip down on either side. And once you do that, you can just collapse all this back up. And what you're going to do here is, you can see there's like a little track right there. So basically you're just going to like squeeze this in so it goes in, and then it'll slide itself out. And you do the same thing on the other side. Just squeeze it in. It'll drop in, and then it'll just kind of flare out to lock it into place. And then once you have that done, you can close that up, and voila, now he has his collar. Hey, things you can do if you want to do it. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with MP Prime. So you can see how that works out. He's a little guy. And here he is with the Combiner Wars Defensor. He just looks sad with good reason, but they have that. Here he is with Combiner Wars Devastator. That works out pretty well. Here he is with Vance Toys Superion. You can see how that works out. A little taller there. Here he is with the DX9 Menosaur. And last but not least, here he is with Ocular Max's And last but not least, here he is with Ocular Max's Bruticus. So you can see they're two all-in-one combiners that they have released so far. They look good together. You can see Defensor is a bit taller than Bruticus. And if you'd like a measurement to the top of his head, Defensor comes in at 17 inches tall. So there you go. So there you have Maximus Pro, and yeah, pretty good combiner here. I mean, he's a solid combiner for the most part. I mean, when you're trying to, like, pose him, some things can come undone, which can get a little bit annoying. But, you know, I mean solid more so as just in stability. Like, you plant him somewhere, he stays planted, you know? Like, it's not a chore to get him standing. He doesn't wobble around. Like, he's solid in that respect. Overall, a solid set of individual figures as well. I think Blades is my least favorite of this set. He just has, like, the fiddliest transformation, but still. Individually, the bots are good. There are definitely nits to pick. Some design choices that make me go, you know, okay. But, you know, that's what you get with the all-in-one gimmick, is sometimes they just have to make things work the way they can make them work. Pretty much with all combiners, a sacrifice has to be made here and there. So, you know, it is what it is. But overall, a pretty well done combiner here, and I'm happy to have this finished up. Looks good. Looks good on the shelf, so there you go. Now, I picked up most, if not all, these figures. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I know I picked up most of these figures from TF Safari. You can purchase these from your online retailer of choice. You can also check out the Maximus Pro playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Ocular Maximus Pro, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Oh, Defensor! Long time no see! Say, have you, seen the Protectobots? Do you really not know how this works? I don't know what you're talking about. But it's good to see you. Listen, I am in need of some, defending, and I'm pretty sure you're the bot for the job. Defend you from what exactly? One of those petro rabbits got loose in the base. Petro rabbit? You want me to deal with a petro rabbit? Hey, those things are vicious! Just find it and, you know, stomp on it real quick or something. Look, I'm not here to be your personal pest control. Nah, you're right, that's more Bumblebee's job. Well, I'll see you around. If you see the Protectobots, let them know I'm looking for them. Seriously, do you not know how this works?